alongside J Dawg.
Mike, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. The holidays are here. You look amazing.
I'm ready. We have all matching onesies in the house for Christmas morning. We're ready.
Nice.
Christmas is a big day. You are crashing our mutual friend's Christmas morning, which is a big crash. Christmas
It's
morning.
a big crash, but I'm not the first to crash it. The Steelers and the schedule makers crashed it first. And I checked with mutual friend. He said, I'm watching the Steelers game Christmas morning, and I will be there to support him against Mahomes. They're going to lose. He'll be depressed on Christmas. It's all very predictable.
And it starts early. Netflix really pushed it early. It's 10 and 1 o'clock on the West Coast. I know it's a little later for you over there on the East Coast, but you're going to be here on the West Coast.
I'll be with you, exactly. Those early game times I learned exclusively from Netflix are to help the European markets. They want Europeans and folks all around the world watching these games. If they were at night on the East Coast, then they would be overnight over there. So it does make sense. I don't know. The Texans are banged up. I almost want to see Ravens Steelers again. Like the Chiefs have nothing to play for. Mahomes, just give me Ravens Steelers. Can we flex the Christmas Day games? Is it too late?
I think it might be too late. Yeah, they probably worked. I mean, they have 40 people that are going to be doing the hosting for the Netflix show. So I'm curious to see how all that.
I know the announcers will be familiar to us. The Eagle brothers, Olsen and J.J. Watt, those types of guys. The pregame show is too much. It's too much.
What did you think about this weekend? Did you watch some football? I got to finally sit down and watch a good chunk of it.
Me too. There's something I really loved on Sunday. Something I loved so much.
Tell me.
For any team to eliminate the 49ers, it was my team of them all, Mike. I do not like the Niners. I don't like Brock Purdy. I don't like Kyle Shanahan.
I know.
Because they get too much credit. Their egos are too big across the NFL. Kyle Shanahan is a losing head coach. He doesn't know how to make quarterback decisions. Brock Purdy, bless his heart. He's from Iowa as a 7th rounder. None of this is his fault. Throwing into traffic, getting picked off, taking bad sacks, having a lack of arm strength. None of it is surprising, but the Niners have been eliminated from playoff contention. I was right about this. A team of aging stars. By the way, John Lynch is an expert at hitting people hard in the open field. He's not an expert at building a 49ers roster, so he's bad, and add him to the mix too. They can't seriously pay Brock Purdy in the offseason. On our prediction show and coming up next week, I might have a new quarterback for them to go after instead of Brock Purdy. So I'm just all fired up about the Niners to start today.
It was an interesting weekend because I feel like things happened. Teams were still eliminated. Well, I mean, it's just like I was thinking about Cincinnati. It's like Cincinnati, you won the game, but it's not really making an impact because you don't really hold your destiny. It's like a lot of things have to fall into place for you to make the playoffs.
Right.
And that's a hard place to be.
They're too good a team, by the way, to not be in the playoffs. Like when we're talking about watching the playoffs, I want Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase in.
Yeah, they're playing great. And by the way, I just want to say, me and our lawyer friend, we have risen to the top, and we are in the fantasy football playoffs, in the finals. We made it. Feels great. Back to back. I joined the team after a winning season. He brought on reinforcements. We're here. We're going to play for the championship.
What league is this in?
This is in Hollywood.
In Hollywood, the big one, the big cash prize. What about the other league? Did you guys also survive in that one?
We did not survive. That was a tough one. We drafted Christian McCaffrey overall. We were thankful for making the playoffs. And
you wanted to trade out of that first pick. You should have stuck to your guns and traded out. You knew he'd have a cursed season. Again, all back to the Niners. It all goes back to the shitty Niners.
It all goes back.
People want to anoint Kyle Shanahan as being a good coach. Let me just tell you, he's coached 8 seasons in the NFL. He's had 4 losing seasons. What legendary good coach has a 50% losing season rate? By the way, Mike Tomlin has been an NFL coach for 18 seasons, has never had a losing one. Shanahan is 4 for 8 losing seasons.
I will say sometimes these coaches, they come into a bad scenario. And I feel, was Shanahan there during the time of it was that Harbaugh when he was there with when they were playing the Ravens?
That was Harbaugh, and they were making moves. That was a good offense. Vernon Davis.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I remember. I was just trying to think, it's hard to rebuild, but I guess, Tomlin's been there for years and years and never really had an issue rebuilding. He's getting quarterbacks, Russell, Justin Fields.
Yeah.
I just feel like, I guess that there's some coaches that are better. So fire him, Jeremy. Start a campaign.
I will.
Fire him. Fire Shanahan right now.
Tomlin's the opposite. He won't have a losing season, but you can't bet on him in the playoffs because you'll lose your money right away. So that's where you'll lose on Tomlin. Just one more team I want to mention was super disappointing yesterday. You probably felt the same way What were the Bucks doing in Dallas? Like, they show up,
I don't
talk
know.
about destiny. They actually had destiny in their hands. They win out. They win the division with Baker. He's slinging it. They lose to like a dead team with a walking, wounded head coach. It made no sense.
I mean, the one thing I saw was that maybe Dak isn't that good and Cooper Rush is a better quarterback on the team. That's what I took from it.
I like that take. Yeah.
Bring Cooper Rush in, get rid of Dak,
Didn't they
trade
just
him
pay
away.
Dak Sunday morning of opening week, right?
Is it weird? It's almost like they have less expectations for Cooper Rush, so when they go out there and play, it seems like the team's playing better.
Yeah, like looser. Less pressure. Maybe
Yeah.
Jerry's putting too much pressure on the building. He's got to step out.
Same cadence though. It's like, here we go. The same like snap count or whatever they got going on over there.
So how many teams from the offseason regret their big QB moves? The Dolphins and Tua is 1. The Cowboys and Dak is 2. Jags and Trevor Lawrence might be 3. A different type of deal, but the Bears are regretting Caleb Williams. That's 4 big quarterbacks that teams are regretting.
Carolina Panthers, but that was last season.
He's getting better. He's getting better.
Yeah. I guess we could just do like a little round robin rotation, trade all these guys to different teams with the same problem and see if these new quarterbacks work out in the different scenarios. But yeah, it's been weird, but I feel like the football's been like entertaining. Like I feel like I've been entertained these last few weeks.
Generally, yes. Drake May played well against the Bills. That was surprising. Kept their interest in the late window yesterday. There's been a lot going on. Bryce Young is back. Yeah, there's things.
Well, it's Christmas week. Next week we will be doing our recap show of 2024 plus Sports
That's
for
our favorite show of
Damas.
the year. Come on.
Big predictions coming, but this week we're going to do some bets. It is Christmas week. We have a Christmas gift of football almost every single day. It's a lot of football. We have Wednesday, Thursday. Do we have Saturday too, or just Sunday?
3 games Saturday. There's so many games before Sunday this week. The Sunday slate is like bad. It's actually a bad Sunday slate.
I was struggling with the afternoon slate yesterday on Red Zone. I was like, these are boring games. Get me out of these 3 games that I keep
This
rotating.
next Sunday, Mike, there's like 5 early and 2 late. It's bad.
I guess it's family time on Sunday then.
Don't have to.
All right, so I got some bets. I only have 4 teams. I was like, I can't. It's a lot of stuff. It's early in the week. We have games on Wednesday. It's Christmas. I'm wearing my Christmas attire. I'm ready.
Great. Video viewers see it. If you're only listening on the podcast, you don't see it. You don't see my Sports Hangover hoodie. You don't see Mike's Christmas sweater. You can buy both of these on the shop, right?
Yeah, both on sportshangover.com. Also, subscribe to us on Substack and YouTube. Substack right now, we have a little chat going on. So any comments or hate you want to send towards us, we're open to it in our Substack chat room.
Niner fans can find me on Substack, on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram Reels. I am everywhere with my Niners takes, and I want you to comment because you're the low IQ football fan, not me.
They have a lot of hot takes for you, for sure.
But they're all wrong. Can we just say they're all wrong?
Yes, I agree they're wrong, but I'm just saying they really come after you, for sure.
They do. I like it.
Okay, so we are maybe not in a must-win scenario, but I have a stat right now. Must-win since 2003. This is regular season game. They are 16-26, so 38% against the spread. These are must-win games. So any team that must win a game. So I'm saying like Cincinnati is a must-win. This is not a good stat. This scares me, this stat. It's also Christmas week, which also scares me even more because people are off, especially guys that are not playing on Christmas Day. Are you drinking some wine the night before? Are you eating a lot of food? Are you going to be a little slow the next day? We don't know.
I see.
I do also have faves of more than a field goal. The last game of the year, now this is not the last game, we got 2 more weeks, are 10-22 against the spread. That's
favorites. So favorites are not trying to win that last game of the year.
Yeah. It's a weird stat because you think it's almost like the teams that need the win play really hard to try the win, but they cannot do it. And there's also been a little trend in the last few weeks. Road favorites are 14-1 straight up the last 3 weeks.
Straight up? Not straight up like winning the game?
Yeah.
Road favorites have won 14 out of the last 15. They just keep winning.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying. That's why
it's holiday season. Let's see what's going on here. It's holiday season. Teams are distracted at home. They have family. They're decorating the house. They're getting gifts for their players, their teammates. All these quarterbacks are giving like extravagant gifts. They're all thinking about that. But the road teams, they go in the hotel. They're laser focused. In December and late December, road teams is who you want to bet on. That's amazing. Are the Niners the only team that didn't cover in Miami because everyone else did?
Were they favorites? Were they 2.5 point favorites or was Miami favored?
I thought it flipped late in the week to Niners favorite. Maybe
Yeah, I
you
don't
took an early line on that stat.
Yeah. Well, I'm starting out the week with a road favorite here. I'm going Seahawks against the Bears. You know, I hate Caleb. You know, I hate the Bears.
Well, you kind of hated Gino recently too.
Yeah, but he played okay over the weekend.
He was throwing the ball hard,
Yeah.
didn't it? Look like a velocity.
Seemed like he really was pissed off.
Yeah, I thought so.
Over the last 6 weeks, they are 4-2 straight up and ATS against the spread. They've been playing really well on the road, Seahawks, and I like that. I want them to keep playing well on the road. I don't think it even. I literally don't think it matters if they beat the Bears or not this week.
It matters a lot. They're tied with the Rams right now, so the Rams, I think, have the tiebreaker, or maybe the Rams are one game ahead, but the Seahawks can still get in by winning the division. They play the Rams last week. If the Seahawks lose this week, they don't control their destiny, as you say, so they need to beat the Bears. A lot of motivation. I'm supporting your team.
Okay, wow, so you like it?
Yeah, I do.
We could do a Christmas Day game. I know you don't like this. You're gonna hate this, but
Not
I'm
Houston.
taking Pittsburgh +2.
Pittsburgh +2 at home. Mahomes, we
They're
thought he
dogs.
was injured. We thought he was injured, but he wasn't.
We
He
did.
played fine against the Texans, but he's got another short week. Now they've wrapped up the 1 seed, right? Do they really care anymore?
I don't think they care, but that's kind of. I feel like it's sneaky. It's Christmas Day. All eyes on you. Taylor Swift in the building for sure, right? Like maybe. It's Christmas Day.
Wait, Mariah Carey is doing the first game. Beyonce is doing the second game. So it's not going to be Beyonce and Taylor Swift in the same building. That would be like stars
Too
with too
much.
many stars. But I think Mariah and Taylor can be in the same building.
When Pittsburgh has been an underdog, they're 5-0 ATS in this position right here. 5-0.
But they never play the Chiefs well. It's
No.
it's big that it's in Pittsburgh, right? It is in Pittsburgh?
It is in, yeah, it's in
That's a
Pittsburgh.
big one. It's normally not there. I don't know. I think they can beat them.
Okay.
It's like only 2.
We don't like it. It's okay. We can move
We
on.
got to bet on Christmas games, though. We have to.
Yeah. Well, my next one, I'm taking Ravens -3.5
That's a good
against
bet.
Houston. I feel like this one's a little too easy because we saw Tank Dell basically have his leg detached from his knee.
Bad one. Really bad one.
Not good.
He's
Not
not going
good
to
at
run
all.
routes for a long time, I'm sorry to say.
And you saw like the list of injuries he had. It's like knee dislocation, ACL, MCL. Everything was basically just like removed. And
Hate that.
it was a weird because it didn't seem like a bad hit, I guess, or fall. I don't know. It seemed a little weird that it all kind of came out.
But the urgency of it seemed very serious right away.
Yes. I mean, if you watch the video, you basically see his like bone out of his leg pushing through his socks. It's not fun.
So you're not taking the Texans after that.
I'm not taking the Texans. Not good for fantasy either. But I got a lot of stats here. Ravens are currently leading in these are categories in the AFC North. So I know this has nothing to do really with like Houston, but according to the PFF rankings, they are number 1 in offense, number 1 in pass blocking, number 1 in receiving, number 1 in rushing.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
So wait, Pittsburgh's in the division, and they're not number 1 in any of those things. So the Ravens are going to win that division. The Ravens are going farther in the playoffs. Like, you're trying to tell people what's going on here.
I'm telling some people what's going on, but we all know Lamar disappoints in the playoffs. But I'm taking Ravens right now, -3.5. It feels like a small number to what happened. I mean, Houston hasn't been playing very well. CJ seems like he regressed a little bit. I don't know what's going on. What do you think?
I agree on the bet. The Ravens are a sneaky team right now. No one's really talking about them. Last year, it was Lamar MVP, Lamar 1 seed, Lamar going to the Super Bowl. No one's having that conversation, yet their team isn't worse. They actually are. They're better with Derrick Henry, yet no one's giving them that Super Bowl credit. I think that's perfect for Lamar and the Ravens to fly under the radar. They're going to possibly capture the division, possibly pass the Steelers there. I like them on Christmas Day. Something about Houston, though. Baltimore just released Deontay Johnson. He's been a cancer in the clubhouse. It's been terrible. He just signed with Houston or got claimed on waivers by Houston. Is he going to walk in and give him the whole playbook that he still has on his iPhone? Like, what's the protocol here?
So they have Stephon Diggs and Deontay Johnson in the room, right? In Houston.
Well, Diggs is also hurt. Nico Collins. Oh, you're saying 2 troublemakers in one room.
Yeah. I don't like
Well, they're
that.
not in the same room. Diggs is at rehab. Deontay is playing, maybe. We'll see.
They just lost a lot of receivers. It's like, I don't think this guy's really going to help. And yes, Nico Collins is the only guy available left, but you have to have somebody on the other side to kind of like break up. They're just going to cover Nico Collins the entire time. So I just don't find this game that it's not going to be a good game for them, basically.
You know what's ironic? The Texans could use a guy like DeAndre Hopkins, who made a living playing for the Texans, who as a veteran is still really good, and they could have had him for very little money.
Yeah.
and they didn't do it. They brought in Stephon Diggs instead, and look how that turned out.
That was probably one of the dumbest trades in NFL history. I mean, next to the Carolina Panthers getting.
I don't know. The Bryce Young trade isn't looking so bad anymore, right?
Yeah. Well, they traded. Didn't they just give him for like 1-to-1 to
I think it was
Cardinals?
a second round. Oh, the Hopkins trade. I thought you meant the
Yeah.
Diggs trade with Buffalo.
Oh, sorry. No,
which
yeah. I was
also
talking about
bad.
Hopkins. Yeah.
Yeah, they gave up on Hopkins years ago,
Yeah.
to Arizona, like 5
Well, that was
years
when
ago
Bill-
at this point.
Bill O'Brien was like the coach, and he just like was over the fucking team and just like trading people left and right. It was so bad.
People forget, like, Deshaun Watson was really good. The Texans were really good. Like, all those teams wanted Watson for agency, and the team that spent for him got the coal in their stocking. Just like the Dolphins and the Jags and the Cowboys and all these teams. Like, maybe don't max out for a QB. Maybe just chill and do Sam Darnold 1-year contracts, and that can work out.
Well, if they win the Super Bowl, people might try to follow that path. Yeah. All right, I'm taking Cincinnati at home -3 against Denver. Cincinnati 3-0 straight up and 3-0 ATS in their last 3 games. I am on board. They are the highest scoring team against winning record teams in the last 3 weeks. So I like this.
I like
They're
that.
clicking.
Like I said, they're playing like a playoff team. They should be in the playoffs anyway. They're clicking. Not to mention the Broncos are a playoff team. They're in position right now. The Bengals can spoil them. I think the Bengals do cover, like you're saying. The Dolphins can get in the playoffs if the Broncos or Chargers lose both of their next 2 and the Dolphins win.
Do you want that?
I don't want that, but they might get in. Tony Romo was all about the Dolphins in the playoffs during that game yesterday. Have you heard any of that?
No, I didn't hear any of it.
I love this squad. They're going to make some noise in the playoffs. Like, Tony, you just parachuted in December 22nd. It's been a rough season.
Yeah, chill out, dude. I do like Jonnu Smith, though. I picked him up in one of the leagues, and he's pretty good.
Yeah, you know what someone said? He was in Atlanta. They kicked him out when they got Kyle Pitts, and Jonnu Smith, an old veteran, is actually better than Kyle Pitts, which is crazy.
100%. Kyle Pitts needs to go. Just get rid of him.
He needs to go, literally.
Yeah.
Go.
That's all I got. I know Christmas week, things are happening. We're going to celebrate Christmasa together, coming over for Chinese food.
I mean, it's a big deal, Mike. It's Christmas and Hanukkah on the same night. That rarely happens. It's your 2 holidays. It's one of my holidays. I'm excited to do it all.
And if you want to give a gift of something to somebody, give a gift of the Sports Hangover. Sign up your friends. Shoot us a text with your friend's email address, and we'll add them to the Substack. That's how easy it is.
That's giving them a gift. You're giving them a gift by sending us their
It will
data.
be a surprise in their inbox. That's the greatest gift you can give anybody, Sports Hangover. We also have all the swag up there. I will say, we don't advertise it a lot, but I will say a lot of random people buying swag lately. Like just random people maybe they're listeners, and I thank you for buying the swag. Random people buying. Usually when I talk about it, maybe we'll get somebody. But yeah, a lot of random people. So I appreciate
you
it.
made great designs, and SEO is working. Like, the whole plan is coming together. Mike, happy end of 2024. The plan is coming together. We have monetized the podcast. We have monetized the shop. And we are taking it to the next level in the new year. So we have Sports Adamas show coming. It's our favorite next year. Even though you're not working, you're going to be drunk for a week, all that stuff. Make sure you still give us a download. It's one of our favorite shows. Come back in January as we start year 16 of the Sports Hangover podcast.
It's a long time. See ya. Good show. Have a good. I'll see you on Christmas. So I'm not going to say have a good Christmas.
I'll see you
then. See ya. All right.
You were used to me doing a rap there.
I know. It was nice.